Don't forget to like and subscribe to JolieKnots Crochet. Share with your friends. Hit that little notification bell so you can get notified when new patterns release. All our videos are available in left and right-handed tutorials. Hi everyone, welcome back to JolieKnots Crochet. I'm Crystal, and today we're going to be making these vertical braids fingerless gloves. Now these gloves are also part of a set to go with the vertical braids beanie. You can use this in variegated yarn, ombre yarn, or solid yarn. We are going to work these gloves in a rectangle in back and forth rows, switching stitches just below you hit the band, so you have that separate look and the elasticity of it. Same thing with the gray, and then we're going to stop short, work the thumb, and then we'll whip stitch it all together. I'll leave the link in the description box for the hat. The yarn that we used for these, I used ice yarns in the color Cakes Blues in the purple shades. These are the purple shades. I used about a half of a skein, so 50 grams. And this is a regular worsted 4-weight yarn, and it's 100% acrylic. So for the gray ones, I did use ice yarns. Now this one is called Favorite Wool. It's a 50% wool, 50% acrylic blend. It is also a 100 gram skein, and I used approximately half of that for the hat itself. Favorite Wool is categorized as a 5-weight yarn. However, that is not accurate. The sizing is fairly different than the 4-weight that we're using, almost even a little bit thinner. So I would definitely not call it a bulky 5-weight yarn. Now, we are going to be using a 6mm J hook, and you are going to need a tapestry needle. If you start to find it difficult to see where the bands end and where the pattern starts, then you're going to go ahead and want just one stitch marker. All right, everybody, go ahead and get your materials together and let's get started. All right, so to get started on our gloves, we're going to make a slip knot. Take our hook, and we're going to chain 26. Alright, so now that we've finished our chain, to begin row 1, we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and then we're going to do 14 more single crochets. You should have 15 single crochets total and 10 chains left. Now that I've got my 15 single crochets, in the remaining 10 stitches, I am going to slip stitch. Now, making sure throughout this pattern that you're keeping your stitches loose. If you are a tight crocheter, I would recommend going up a hook size. You have just completed row 1. For row 2, we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and now we are going to single crochet into the back loop only of our slip stitches. So we'll have 10 single crochets into the back loop only. Now, because these are slip stitches, they are tighter than regular stitches, and that's why I noted to make sure that you're crocheting loosely or that you're going up hook size. Once you've got your 10 single crochets into the back loop only, our next 15 stitches will be half double crochets. So half double crochet through both loops of your single crochet. Okay, here we are. We've just completed round 2. You should notice that the band section is a tad smaller than the section of the hand part of your gloves. Okay, so getting started on row 3, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Now, we are going to single crochet 15 times. The top is always going to be 15, the bottom is always going to be 10 until we get to our thumb hole, and I'll teach you about that when we get there. When we do our single crochet row after our half double crochet row, what we're going to do is single crochet into the back bar. Now, since we've turned our work, the back bar is facing us. It's not technically in the back anymore. So we're going to stick our hook underneath that back bar, not the top of the stitch, the bar facing you, and you're going to single crochet. Now, into the next one, we're going to go right into that back bar and single crochet. Now you're going to do that 15 times, one time for every single back bar. And what you're going to see now, we're looking at the wrong side of our work. When we flip it around, that's where we're going to see our braids start forming. Okay, once we've got our 15 single crochets, now we're going to move to the band again. Now our band is switching off slip stitches, single crochet, slip stitch, single crochet. Same thing here with the body of our gloves. We're switching off half double crochet, single crochet into the back bar, half double crochet, single crochet into the back bar. So once we get here, we've just completed our round of single crochets, and now we are going to slip stitch only into the back bar of your single crochet, making sure to keep them loose. I've just completed row 3. Now you're going to repeat row 2 and 3 8 more times, and you're going to have a total of 18 rows. Meet me back here after you've got your 18 rows, and we can get started on our thumb placement. Now, if you have a hand that is smaller than the size of a standard hand, then you're going to do one less repeat. You'll have 16 rows. If you have a larger hand and you tend to find that gloves are too snug on you, then you're going to do one extra repeat and you will do 20 rows total. So go ahead and finish that out. I'm going to finish mine and then I'll meet you back here so we can get started on the rows for our gloves. And then meet me back here and we can get started on the rows that are going to go around our thumb. Here I am with my 18 rows total completed. Part of your work might be curling like mine does, and that's totally fine. Did the same thing on the hat. Okay, so moving along to our thumb hole, we are actually going to be doing the same exact thing as round 2 and 3, but we're stopping 5 stitches short. So moving up along this way, I am single crocheting into the back loop only of my slip stitch. And now instead of putting 15 half double crochets all the way down, we're going to put 10. So you should have 5 stitches open on the end. Once you've got your 10, you'll chain 1, turn your work, and we'll do our single crochet into the back bar for 10 stitches instead of 15. And then we'll work our slip stitches in the back loop only of our single crochet. So you are going to repeat those 2 rows 2 more times. So you should have a total of 6 rows for your thumb holes. Go ahead and finish that out. Come back and I will teach you how we are going to whip stitch it all together. Okay, I've just completed the thumb part of my hand. I should have 1, 2, and then once we whip stitch this together, have 3 braids going forward on my thumb. So you should have 6 rows. Now how we're going to put them together is we're going to fold them in half, wrong side facing out. Hopefully you left a long tail to weave in your ends. And go ahead and thread your tapestry needle. Now what we're going to do is we want to make this top stitching come out to show the braids just like we had been while we were working the pattern. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually go through the back bar with your needle. On the other side we are going to skip 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Into your 6th chain is where you're going to start your whip stitch. So, back bar, through the chain on the other side. Now when we get to the band part, we're going to do the same thing. We would have been working into the back loop only here. So that's what we're going to pick up, is our back loop only, and then moving into the next chain. So there we have our last one, and we're just going to make sure that we tie a knot in there nice and tight, weaving it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is cut ourselves another small piece of yarn. We are going to take our glove and then refold it so our fingers match up to the chains on the other side. Thread your needle, and now going through both loops of your single crochet, you're going to go over to the first chain on the other side, and we will whip stitch that together. We've only got 5 stitches here. Alright, so flip your glove back inside out, and we've got your set of fingerless gloves. Vertical braid fingerless gloves. Okay, thank you everybody for watching JolieKnots Crochet. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and tag me in your social media posts so I can see the colors that you chose.